Maybe listen to me speak, yeah. No matter what, just let it go.
Pop, Perswayable. What's going on, boo-boos? Here we are. I have not been MCing, but we got Miracle versus Weibo. We don't got time for Perswayable to be talking shit. Let's get right into it. We got a forward. We got Gravekeeper, Mercenary, and the Mechanic. First ban is going to be Seer. Thank you so much for being patient with me. I've been super busy. We got that Dream Witch coming up. I tried to do the best that I could to edit some of this. I did keep some of these screens and this sort of animations in here just so I can talk to you all and let you know what's happening in this gameplay and to break it down. You know, it's quite flattering when I see people writing comments on my YouTube like, why isn't Perswayable MC? And it's because I have been trying to figure out this entire process. So thankfully, we're a little bit closer, so yes, I will talk about the high-tier strategies, and I want you all to remember that traditionally I am not an MC, I am just Perswayable, so the fact that all of you have supported me so much when I provide this commentary has been pretty rad of you all, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. You all inspire me every day, and I hope that you're aware of that. But you know what? How about we stop being emotional? Because there are people who are about to kill each other, boo-boos. And I can't wait to see the two best clans, or one of them, of course, top 10 China players and teams going against each other. Miracle, I believe, currently the bottom 7. We see Weibo currently in second place. So let's see what Weibo CC is going to be able to do in this location. We got a Dream Witch on that arms factory. Going to immediately come into this factory because remember, this is not as strong of an area as what it used to be. CC is going to move accordingly to get that follower. And the question is are they going to engage with the forward? It seems like CC does not want to waste time on the forward. And in the bottom there, I believe CC is going to be using Blink, which is very interesting since a lot of Dream Witches currently, under the current meta, are preferring that Patroller combo. So the question is what is Weibo going to be able to do with that Blink? Traditionally, we see a Blink being used in Sacred Heart Hospital, if anything. So to see it on Arms Factory is quite interesting. And let's see what this Gravekeeper is going to be able to do. We see that he's been able to preserve both of those digging abilities. Both shovels are still there. Did not prematurely use it unnecessarily. We see the discipline from Miracle, making sure he doesn't do it too early. However, make sure that he doesn't do it too late. And what is CC going to do? Is CC going to engage with that Gravekeeper, or are they going to move on? Because remember, that Gravekeeper has now been leeched, and that leech ability is going to take some time to come back up. And smart move from Dream Witch to move on from that Gravekeeper. The issue here is that they're really dominating early game, and you're seeing that spread. We see that Mechanic is no longer over here. Uses the Blink, gets that puppet down, or rather doll. We call that the George. Shout out to my leg. And let's say, you know, wait, all right, so it's going to go out. Now, this is an interesting strategy going after Gravekeeper with that leech. I'm glad that they didn't swing because then Gravekeeper is going to be able to absorb a hit. So what they're doing is they're putting that leech down to monitor that Cypher, to close down the Cypher rush. And now let's see what the Mechanic is going to be able to do. She does have a boost, but she gets hit. That is one hit. We see the monitoring of that Cypher really preventing that Gravekeeper. We see Mechanic still is leeched currently. We see that CC is trying to set up these traps with these leeches and the follower, but this is the way to kite a Dream Witch, is knowing when to transition versus not. I do not believe, I don't know if this character has Blink readily available. I'm pretty sure this character doesn't. Good discipline from the Mechanic, doesn't throw it down too quickly. We're going to see movement here. Mechanic buying a lot of time. Remember, they are at 4 ciphers. And that's going to happen when you have a slow decoding team. But this Mechanic is doing a really good job. Gets the hit on Mechanic. pretty decent kite in that area, and we see that CC is just being very calm, very controlled, does not feel like they need to rush against that forward or that gravekeeper. And the question, though, is CC going to be able to shut down the mid to late game? We know that Dream Witch sometimes can get too cipher kited, but where a Dream Witch is going to shine on Arms Factory is that mid-level to late-level gameplay. My God, it feels good to be back MCing. I am so excited to be here. Yo, look how Dream Witch moves. Look at those hips. Is that weird? That was weird. All right, I'm not going to go there. That was. You ever say something and you kind of regret it? Oh, beautiful hit from the Dream Witch. You got to really focus on that movement, what Dream Witch did. What Dream Witch did, it was very subtle. Go back to that. She pretends to go in towards the pallet, and then she kind of jukes back and swings. So if Mechanic didn't throw that pallet down, it would be able to make a little bit of distance. It's a move where you really just pretend like you're going to go through that pallet, and you immediately go backwards because they think you're going through it. It's a really high-level maneuver, and it's something that only really works on the mid to high tiers. Low tiers, if you try to do that move and they're not familiar with it, they're just going to immediately throw the pallet down, which you can just swing. You don't got to do that move, or they're just going to keep running, not real, somewhat panicking. That's not always the case. You guys know my philosophy with this kiting business is kind of like a chess match. All right, so they are down to one cipher. And the question, yep, they have the cipher prime. Cipher is prime. They are waiting. They hit. Expect the cipher pop. Cipher pop has not happened yet. They are waiting. Let's see what Gravekeeper's strategy is here. It's going to wait for that Mechanic. And they pop the cipher. All of them are up. 4 survivors currently up. You can see that sort of domination from these survivors based on their early game strategy. They did a good job at making sure that Gravekeeper did a great job at making sure that he didn't panic, knew exactly when to dig. He didn't dig right away unnecessarily, had faith in his kiting ability. And he was probably waiting for Patroller as well. And this most likely will be a 3-person escape. That's really, really big for Team Miracle. Excellent gameplay from both. On an unrelated note, I am currently hiding under my blanket. That's a thing. I read online that if you put everything under a blanket, you don't have as much echo, and it's actually working. So I am a 30-year-old male that has currently got his computer and his microphone under a blanket. And I feel like an idiot, but in the same way, I'm kind of proud of that. So I have a lot of mixed emotions, and I just thought that I should share that with all of the viewers. All right, we have Dream Witch here, Arms Factory. We're going to see what Weibo can do. Weibo now has to get 3 to 4 survivors out to at least tie or win this entire round. Immediately stumbles across the Mechanic doll. That's extremely beneficial for Miracle XC. Remember that when Weibo was playing, it took a little bit of transition in to find that Mechanic in between trying to go to that forward, going to the Gravekeeper. And, this is something that we try to talk more about. We talk more about how really there are benefits to having certain spawns. It really can help you out. Plus the random spawn points where you immediately run into the one survivor you're trying to find. So we see that that's confused me. I'm not going to lie. I was like, did I mess up my editing? No, she just immediately changed out to her main body. Mechanic doing a good job. Great communication from the Seer using that owl again. We're seeing that Patroller gameplay that I said we're more used to on Arms Factory. So let's see what that is going to entail and what the differences are between those two. I'm interested to see what this Dream Witch build is. Doesn't look like they're really building up north. That seemed pretty slow in terms of the pallet speed deduction. So it'd be interesting if they're playing Trump's card. Yeah, they're probably playing Trump's card in detention. That's the typical build for a Dream Witch. So apparently I just forgot everything about the game. I hope this audio quality isn't too bad. And we are currently still at 4 ciphers. 1 cipher has been popped. Look at that discipline from these survivors. Great discipline, making sure that they don't throw those pallets down too fast. Really predicting a lot of these this hunter gameplay, this hunter movements, and that chess match is benefiting them currently. And they're still at that 4 ciphers. I do apologize if you hear a little bit of sound scraping against that microphone. That is my blanket. That's my blankie. Look at this discipline. Doesn't hop that gate. Yeah, because that's a gate. Doesn't hop the window too fast. And let's see where she's going to move weights for that to go down. They're currently at 4 ciphers. Now remember, Dream Witch, although having a good early game means everything, Dream Witch really can shine mid to late game. And so that's really what they're going to have to do. Now, in my opinion, this mechanic did the exact thing that needed to be done. She went into the corner of the map, made sure she didn't get cheered in the middle of the map, because if she gets cheered in the middle of the map, that therefore means that the main body has the ability to really kind of scope out multiple ciphers. So these high tier survivors are making sure that when they kite in a corner, and they're trying to open the rest of the map out for the other individuals to continue decoding. And that's a very, very important point. That mechanic knew exactly where she was going, why she was going there, to make sure that they open that map up to continue decoding because of the scariness of that mid to late game strategy. You see, this is the difference. It's not just about kiting and your ability to do a 2-3 cipher kite. It's also about planning where you get downed and making sure that you counter this Dream Witch on Arms Factory. It's really high tier strategy and very impressive. See, sometimes I point some pretty solid stuff out. Can I pat myself on the back? I'm going to pat myself on the back. Hold on. There we go. All right, somebody's got to do it. Mechanic, I think, struggled out. Either struggled out. Yeah, I believe so. Either way, excellent job from Weibo. 2 ciphers down. Let's see where this goes. You see them switching out to their next follower every time they take a pallet down. Instead of watching the animation, they can switch it out. Continues moving around the map. Currently, the mechanic is the only one that has been leached. And now Mercenary has been leached. I mean, maybe Mercenary was leached that entire time. I don't know. All I know is that they may have just removed that leech. They did remove that leech. I don't know where that other one went. That was like a mid-hit. All right, and remember that they have switched to abnormal. Let's see where that mechanic and gravekeeper are going to go. They are down to 1 cipher still. They hop that window so she cannot vault it. Gets the hit on them. I don't know what just happened there, but let's keep moving on. Mechanic is doing a very good job. I thought Mechanic was going to go down, so doing a very, very good job. And is able to almost get away. I don't believe that last cipher is fully primed yet, and nope, it's not. They got to be careful. I actually forgot to maximize my video, so I'm kind of like looking at a very small screen. I'm struggling this match. I'm not going to lie. I'm struggling a little bit. I forgot to maximize the screen. People be like, I want to hear Perswayable MC, and it's like, why? So you can hear me stumble on my words and not be able to see what's going on. They did pop that last cipher. Detention has been activated from this Dream Witch. Abnormal was the selection, but they did a good job at making sure that they separated this Dream Witch and spread her across the map, so was not able to really capitalize too much on the abnormal. This team's doing a very good job. Mechanic is down. Remember, they need 3 survivors out just to tie the match. All right, because the last round they got 3 survivors out. Oh, I'm sorry. No, that's not accurate. Yeah, actually that is. Weibo needs to get 3 survivors out in order to tie the match. I'm not deleting this. I'm sticking with it. We have 1 eliminated, and I believe all 3 survivors are going to escape. This is going to be a tie for round 1 between these 2 competitors. We see that that's a draw. We're going to move to the second match. However, I need to check the audio real quick. All right, we see Dream Witch, Mechanic, and Priestess have been banned. MRC comes out with that Sculptor. And yeah, I'm excited to be MCing again. So my roommate actually just moved out. So I have the apartment to myself. And that means that now I can record late at night when I have nothing to do. That's why it was hard to MC, because you got to be courteous to your fellow roommates, and I didn't want to be up too late, screaming in this mic, which is something that I do. And here we are, we're on Sacred Heart Hospital. Miracle has the Sculptor against Weibo, and let's see this motion, where they're going to go. And Sacred Heart Hospital can be such a difficult map for non-meta hunters, especially against Priestess. That's why you see a lot of Priestess bans. She can be very destructive. You see those portals that can be utilized on the other matches. If you guys have been watching the Identity V League that I've been uploading every single week. And yeah, if there was a Priestess, right, there'd be some portals already set up over here. I mean, that's the difference between these high-tier Survivor teams versus the other teams that aren't really capitalized on that Priestess user. And let's see where Seer is going to move. Drops down over here. Needs to make sure, look at that, making sure it doesn't get hit by any of these sculpts, statues, sculpts. Doesn't get hit by any of the statues, and would rather absorb a hit for that relocation. That's another thing that we talk about. Sometimes it is better to absorb a regular hit so you can relocate, and that's exactly what that Seer did. And it's a strategy that I agree with. Why keep running straight and getting chipped when you can force that Sculptor to have to utilize the statues, which allows you instead to avoid the statues, absorb a regular hit, and relocate. And this is what you're seeing. You're seeing this right now based on a Seer that understood that. Oh my God, beautiful move from the Seer. Tries to really put some distance. Are they going to be able to get away? Gets another boost. That was an absolutely amazing move from the Seer. That was remarkable. Excellent job. Very, very good job in a tight area. Predicts the blink. Wow. All because that Seer understood. That Seer understood in that area, okay, that I'd rather absorb that hit and relocate. And now here is the forward. This is how you rescue against a Sculptor as a forward. You immediately stun, and you probably go in for a second stun here. Gets a second stun right there. So this is a common strategy for top forward players. When you go against a Sculptor, okay, you're constantly communicating with your team, all right? And you're constantly communicating with your team, telling them, where are you going? Where is the kiter? Sets themselves up for a long stun in order to immediately rescue, and then follows up with the second stun. This is a very, very common strategy for forward users, and it is the correct strategy against Sculptors, sorry, I did that again. And also absorbing a hit like that, forcing this character to go after somebody other than the Seer that got cheered. This Seer not only did very well, but this forward understands the major counter strategies against these Sculptors. That is the current thing to do as of now. That is the best way to really rescue against a Sculptor. We see pretty much all of the top 3 teams doing this with their forward. It's also a reason why sometimes hunters decide to ban the forward. But I agree with this hunter banning Priestess. She is just absolutely ridiculous to deal with. Excellent rescue from the mercenary. Timing that elbow pad beautifully. Sees that they really circle around and squeezes in there. Now doesn't have to worry about the anti-rescue. Let's see what this forward's going to be able to do. Does not have any football left. But really not that big of a concern. Hides behind the door. There's not much you can do there, though. So XC is going to put them on the rocket chair. We have one Cypher that's almost going to be popped. I do not know what the progress is of the Cypher after this one, so hopefully somebody will ping it. Remember, they do have an Explorer, and that Explorer can really help out with the pages. And it does seem like that last Cypher has been primed, so really needs to stuff this rescue if they want a chance here. And oh, gets it. Beautiful job. Beautiful rescue. All 4 survivors still up. Chang needs to buy some time, but it does not look like this Sculptor is going to be able to change. Most Sculptors do not use detention in high-tier gameplay. And you see the forward doing some excellent movements. I don't know what's happening right now, but seems like... Let's see. Tries to get these. Waits until all of them pops up. Gets them down. I was a little confused right there. I'm not going to lie. Good gameplay. They get one down. Let's move to the next match. We see that Bonbon has been banned. Mechanics banned. Explorer has been banned. Wow, that's interesting. Explorer has been banned. I do not see that often. And we're going to see if that's going... That's an interesting choice to decide to ban Explorer over the Priestess. Priestess really can change the entire game. But you know what? A good Explorer can really hide. And man, this Explorer's come a long way. And you know what? I did come out with those videos a couple months ago telling everybody that I think Explorer is going to be a very dangerous survivor, especially after the Blood Queen nerf and the Explorer rework. Now let's see what Weibo is going to do with this Sculptor. This is on Sacred Heart Hospital against a Priestess, against a Forward, against a Mercenary, and as well as one other character that I didn't have time to look at. There they are. All right there. You can see them all. And that's a Seer. So Seer's the last one. So Seer will be the weakest link after one owl is being used. Weibo understands that. And remember, this character, this survivor, or rather this hunter's a really good Bonbon player. And that was the main priority to be banned. And the question is Sculptor going to be able to predict this Seer's movements? We see that Seer dropped down and is going to go up. Seer's still right there. There was some blood trail marks over there. Looks like somebody left those blood trail marks to confuse the Sculptor. There was definitely some blood trail marks, and that could not have been the Seer. The Seer wasn't... That let out those double doors. That was very interesting. I need to go back in the gameplay and review that later on. Remember, I do these videos in one take. Now, these are the Priestess portals that I was talking about. Alright, so they set these up. They know exactly how to use them. Takes down the global portal. And that's not too uncommon for Priestess users to do. They set up a portal that leads to the global portal. However, we have to remember that they have not heard a trait. The blink has not been activated. So they're not sure if the Sculptor is using teleport. And that's why they're not going to use that global portal as of now. Seer using the owl. Now Seer is not going to have any owl left unless they have the ability to build this back up. Doing a pretty good job. They're still at 5 ciphers. That's not atypical for a slow decoding format, but the slow decoding format is really set up for the anti-rescue or the anti-rescue. And we're going to see how Seer moves. Listen, I think he just used that portal. Remember, we talked about those portals last game. Last round, having a portal and a Priestess user on this map is very, very dangerous. That's why I was surprised to see that Explorer ban. But of course, I'm still going to understand why that Explorer ban is significant. Really helps with the decoding, helps with the hiding, and can really, really, really prevent a good hunter from being able to locate. So that's really what the mindset was. But again, having a Priestess user sets these portals up and allows these survivors to abuse this middle hospital. And that is why I said last round that I do not like Sacred Heart Hospital when I am a hunter. They're going to blink past it. And now the question is how much is Seer going to be able to kite in this area without having to worry about going down, and gets that beautiful job from the Sculptor. Yeah, I'm not sure. Again, I understand the Explorer ban. I really, really do. That's what's... Oh, here we go. Here we go. And prevents that long stun. Was a little bit too far away to get that stun. And both survivors are down. Now, I know what some people are going to say right now. Let me clarify this. There's going to be some survivors and some players who are saying, why doesn't the forward use Tide Turner? And to be honest with you, that's actually more popular than what you may think. Some forward users... with good communication teams, they don't use Tide Turner. And the reason why they don't use Tide Turner is because they put everything on that first stun. And there is a gamble to using that. On the other hand, it increases some of their ability to do other things, such as kiting, especially late game. Let's see how this is going to work. Let's see what Miracle can pull off. Gets the rescue in time, however, hits the seer. They are still at 2 ciphers, and there is no reason not to use this global portal, now knowing that this hunter does not have teleport, and that's exactly why they're going to use it. Excellent job from the Sculptor, spiking the area down to observe the area. Seer goes down. Mercenary is now down. Forward is 1 chip away. This is looking pretty good for Weibo. Priestess trying to get that healing done, but is not going to have enough time. And now is the Sculptor going to be able to hit the Priestess? We do know that Priestess is chipped. There is not a single survivor that has full health. They are at 1 cipher left, and at least they don't got to deal with that Explorer's page because Explorer has been banned. Therefore, somebody needs to manually start decoding, and they are at 42%. Or at least that may have been the healing, rather. I do not know what the cipher. I think that cipher is 42%. No, they are healing right now. This Priestess is currently at 25% health. Is going to use her portals in this area. Weibo going to take their time to try to get this survivor down. Hops the window. You can see using these portals to their advantage, and is going to recircle here, break line of sight, which forces the hunter to either save their statues or to randomly place them to hopefully hit. And gets the Priestess down. 1 cipher remaining. Spikes the area to continue slowing the decode. Understands that these survivors took some precious time to heal each other. And when you take your time to heal each other, you're telling the hunter, we don't have that final cipher down. And this hunter knows it. And this hunter is aware that they do not have that final cipher down and is going to use this ability to see where the survivor is at. Remember that when the statues collide, they go into the direction that the hunter is in. Hits the forward again. Forward at 50% health. Let's see if they're going to be able to get this. Gets the blink with the hit. Now, what is Miracle going to do? Miracle is far away from that rocket chair. Only has 2 elbow pads. That should be enough to try to relocate. Leaves the forward down and is going to try to prevent the rescue. Does not get the rescue before half. And this is looking good for Weibo. We see that Weibo trying to get those statues to kind of resurface. Forward still down. Mercenary at 50% health. Priestess got chipped 1 time at 25% health and is now going to pick the forward up, realizing that Mercenary is at 50% health and the Priestess is at 25% health. Neither one of these survivors are in a location or in a position to go for the rescue. Weibo understands that. They're going to try to slow this down and try to continue healing one another, and pushes them out and needs to make sure they don't get a rescue before half, and really has a lot of domination control over the map with that map presence. Looking at that cipher, realizing that cipher is not wiggling. So although they are healing each other for these positions, really this is looking good for this Weibo Sculptor, doing an excellent job. Priestess at half health, now engaging with the Mercenary, who is at full health. Did not get the rescue before half. Therefore, next time forward goes on that rocket chair, he's going to die, and is now prioritizing Spike in this area to make sure that they hit. Priestess now down forward, has been rescued. However, is at 50% health. There are no more statues. Has to try to re-get all of these to come back. Has two statues available. They are still at 1 cipher. Needs to make sure that they pick one of these survivors up because of that final cipher. We are seeing Miracle doing a really good job and needs to make sure. Wow, excellent job from these survivors currently. Gets 1 down, trying to prevent the pop, gets the pop. Remember, a lot of Sculptor users do not use detention to really maximize on that anti-rescue and to make sure that somebody does not get a rescue before half, to try to slow that game portion down and to make sure that all the survivors are going to die on their second time on the rocket chair. Forward now at 50% health. They did a really good job at trying to preserve. Look at that. You see how they go in and then come back out? Excellent discipline from the Sculptor. Gets the blink hit and is probably going to spike. They need the spike to really prevent the Mercenary. However, only has 2 statues anyways. And it seems like Weibo is going to settle for a 3-person victory because they do not have Trump's card. And now Miracle is going to be able to get out. Excellent job from the survivors, making sure they at least get 1 point. That was excellent gameplay. And now we see Weibo against Miracle again. All right, boo-boos. We now have Dream Witch, Bonbon, Mechanic, Seer, and a Mercenary band going in this Game 3 first half. Now seeing a Violinist against a Coordinator, Explorer, Forward, and a Priestess. I like third round. And the reason being so is because this is when we start seeing more intricate characters. We start seeing characters that are not plagued in round 1 and 2. And I always enjoy being able to see that, such as, for instance, that Coordinator being used and that Violinist, because for the most part, we see a lot of this tournament gameplay end by round 2. Doesn't get to round 3. And so that's when we're not seeing the Axe Boys and the Spiders, and we're not seeing the Violinist being played or the Wu Changs, which we have seen over the past few days. And boo-boos, I am sorry if the audio is not perfect. I'm having a little bit of technical issues, but I think that I have fixed them. But I'm not sure because I mess everything up. Alright, let's see what this Priestess is going to do. She's going to try to portal here. Is he going to get the skill off? Does not get the skill off. But good job from the Violinist, making sure that he didn't try to get that skill, because now it's going to recover a lot faster. Remember, as a Violinist, if you start your skill and don't finish it, it's going to recuperate much faster. She's going to break line of sight here, and she's going to move to this area. She's going to throw that pallet down and either force the Hunter to take it down or move around it. Buys her enough time to continue breaking line of sight. Good job from the Violinist, making sure, predicting those movements, getting that Priestess to move a little bit. Gets the hit. Priestess now down again, ladies and gentlemen. My boo-boos, I apologize for that. I did have a few mic issues right there, but we're going to roll with it and keep going. And now Priestess is down. Good job from Violinist. That's a very difficult spot for any Hunter to go against a Priestess and really capitalize on that juke. Pretends to go one way, jukes back the other way, catches Priestess off guard a little bit for just enough time to follow up with it. And this Violinist still is using that blink. And of course, you're seeing that anti-strategy against the forward. Gets the skill. Beautiful skill from this Violinist. Priestess is now going to go down, and she has to make a choice. You go in here. Basement is not in here. And let's see what she does. She decides to go back out. You know, that's one of the strategies that we're seeing with Forward over the last few days in this high-tier gameplay. Going in for an immediate stun. The problem is that when you go in for a long stun, a lot of Violinists, they're just, a lot of Hunters in general are now expecting that strategy and really being able to counter it. It's still the best strategy, though, with utilizing Forward to really maximize on that escape. Right, we talked a lot about this in depth. You go in for that first stun. Is Violinist, let's see what she does. She's able to prevent that. Here we go. What's going to happen? She goes, she gets it. All right, so Priestess is now down. Is Coordinator going to use her gun? Does not use her gun. Gets the hit on there. Uses the ult. Remarkable job. Coordinator still has not used her gun based on how great the Violinist was doing to make sure to prevent it. Now Coordinator is going to get picked up and put on the chair. This is a very big moment for this Violinist. There are 3 ciphers remaining, 1 person eliminated. Coordinator now down and on that rocket chair, using those notes. Not sure if they're connecting. Explorer really working their way around the map. Still doing that crouching. Remember, coordinator's extended time on the rocket chair. Can really buy enough time for a team to decoy, especially with that Explorer. It's a pretty good comp. Using those notes to slow down a survivor. None of those have hit him, though. He was able to avoid. Oh, they did hit. I think that hit. And let's see if Explorer is going to be able to get this rescue on this coordinator. See him really taking his time. The question is this stealth approach going to work out? He's get it. Yep, coordinator is now down. Excellent skill from Weibo. Does hit the Explorer one time. Does not allow coordinator to use that gun. That's a very, very big moment for the Violinist. And they are down to 2 people. 1 Cypher remaining. And will he hit the skill? Does not activate that. That's a really good strategy. A really good strategy where you fake to use your skill. You use it once and you follow up with that rate. That's very cool. It's an intricate way of using Violinist. You learn something new every day. And I know that the Violinist mains are going to be like, well, that's common knowledge. And be like, well, yeah, well, not for me, boo-boo. I just learned something. Now, here's the thing. We see Forward trying to finish this last cipher off. And if he gets this last cipher off, it gives him a lot of flexibility. However, when you try that strategy, you're letting the Violinist know exactly where you are. And you're allowing that Violinist to close that gap. And although I do understand the strategy of trying to get that last cipher out, exposing location makes it much more difficult to kite long enough in order to get to that basement or dungeon. Fakes going around. Good juke from the Violinist. And that is going to be a 4-person elimination. Very big moment for Weibo. Going into game 3, second half. Now we see a Dreamwitch, Sculptor,
对，然后牵着牵着又多一个磁铁出来，
hand mechanic
头痛
band.
头痛。
And let's
我
see
这
who
边
the
阵容的
survivor
话，
selections are
应该
going
是要
to
确
be
定这个阵容了。
for this exciting
东东的牛
final
仔，
conclusion
堂哥的前
of
锋，
game
可以打
3, second half.
就看小陈。
就主要是什么呢？这个阵容感觉你小陈这边掏什么他们都不怕。
对，因为这个阵容其实不管是红夫人、蜘蛛什么的，都挺舒服的。就如果你不是邦邦的话，你拿红夫人加蜘蛛，对我这个先知真的是克的挺难受的。
确实。哦，这边话也是预选了一手啊，锁了邦邦。
是的，陈的邦邦。
我们之前一直说嘛，说其实牛仔还是比较有针对邦邦的。
是的，就看小陈他做邦邦，其实之前看起来他熟练度还是蛮高的，还是蛮高的。但是邦邦这种东西还不是熟练度高就能够好4抓的。
邦邦我们之前一直说嘛，这邦邦能不能3抓4抓，得看求生者给不给机会。
对。
好的，那本场比赛是由微博的蓝色阿东东堂哥回忆对阵 MRC 的小陈，是由侦探压挤图画为带来 IBO 现场实况解说。
是的。 上一把的话，低保的一个刷点是个天胡刷点，
是的，
就看小陈这一把会刷到哪。如果说也是同样的位置刷个先知，哎，那挺舒服的。
是的，
他其实对邦邦来说，就哪怕刷到牛仔，他也不是很好追
啊。对，
因为红教郎这个地图左边的半边板区实在是太多了。
是，主要是你前期这个雷续不上，你又
unbelievably important as a hunter in these tournament matches to really make sure that no matter who they ban, you're going in there with a lot of destruction. And here we are, round 3, match 2 of this red church, Weibo versus Miracle. And where are they going to go? What they're going to do? You see that forward throwing those pallets down? You throw those pallets down in that area because of your other characters who usually transition there, and they can use those pallets to help kite later on in the game. Some pallets you don't throw down, some pallets you do throw down. Those are pallets that you throw down in that big church. You can see it in the bottom left corner in that big church. Those 2 pallets, they are down. Let's see how this user is going to be able to kite. Moving around this area. We see that Bonbon has been patient enough to build up all those bombs. One of the last things you want to do as a Bonbon is throw those bombs down prematurely going against this Cowboy. Cowboys are pretty good at transitioning away from Bonbon. You have to be able to really use that lasso correctly in order to avoid those bombs. You're going to see him that he's going to rely on this transitional kiting as much as he can. He wants that distance. Unlike going against Percy, who you can tight kite, you don't want to have to do that against a bonbon. And you see those pallets being thrown down earlier. That is allowing this cowboy to really circle this bonbon and the continued transitional kiting. And this is why some top tier survivors will use cowboy now after his rework as a main sort of kiter, and the ability to transition away. There's still not even one injury on any of them. Using that lasso against the Cypher machine to continue moving around. Has no problem using their entire lasso. Will use the entire lasso because that early game kite is so unbelievably important. And watch this. Now we're going to see a stun from the forward. And that's a really big moment for Weibo. Weibo doing a very good job at just abusing this main church area and really showing how to transition kite and using that cowboy as a counter towards the bonbon. Misses the lasso on the pallet. It's a big moment for bonbon. Does get one hit. Now, as fast as what that was, cowboy is at 25% health. Tries to get that. Assume that the cowboy was going to veer to the left. Cowboy did a good job at veering to the right to avoid that bomb and to understand I may not be able to kite as long. Beautiful blink, by the way, from XC. But what I'm going to do is avoid that bomb and buy an extra 5 to 6 seconds. Most survivors do not go the route that that cowboy went. He went that route specifically. Oh, and the forward crashes. That is really unfortunate. That's going to be a very difficult rescue now. Let's see what this bonbon is capable of doing. Trying to chip away at the forward to try to chip as much damage as he can before that forward gets to this rocket chair. And you see that the bonbon is trying to hide a little bit from that area. But forward now using that seer owl. Getting a stun on the bonbon. Follows up with an additional stun. We are seeing Weibo playing excellent. Let's see if Cowboy is going to be able to use that lasso. This Cowboy is doing a remarkable job countering this bonbon. Showing why Cowboy's rework has been favored by some of the individuals in the community. Regardless of whether you care it changed up his chemical makeup or not, it has made him a scary anti-bonbon kiter. And we're seeing exactly how you are to do that from one of the best Cowboy players in the entire world. They are at one Cypher now. Was able to get that rescue before half. Good moment from Weibo. And the question is bonbon going to be able to stuff this mercenary? Is mercenary going to be able to get this rescue? He can absorb 4 hits, just needs to make sure he does not go down. And bonbon is really just trying to chip away as much as he can. Hits him. Is he going to panic? He's showing the discipline. Has hit him. Gets the terror shock. And they get the pop Cypher anyways. Now, question is what are they going to be able to do? How many are they going to be able to get out with? This is a very important moment for Weibo. Miracle needs to really show the heat. And we see that Cowboy is just kind of emoting right now and buys enough time for the rest of their survivors to get out. And he's already down. And they are going to most likely get out of the match with 3 survivors. Excellent gameplay from Weibo. Really showing how this Cowboy has done a great job. And this is going to conclude the series for this day with Miracle against Weibo. Very, very good match from this Cowboy. Showing how great of a player he really, really is. That was such a marvelous example of how Cowboy is going to counter that bonbon, especially on Red Church. You see that sort of support from the forward, and that was really, really good. And we see that Weibo is victorious. We're going to move into the next one, boo-boos. We got GR versus the Wolves. Game 1, first half, match 2 of today. We saw the conclusion between Miracle and Weibo. Congratulations to Weibo, showing excellent gameplay on how to utilize that Cowboy correctly. Really showing people how Cowboy can be used after that adjustment that happened not too long ago. And the selection is going to be a Dream Witch. Unfortunately, this guy who is talking right now sucks at video editing. And here we are. We have Wolves versus GR. Let's see what this Dream Witch is capable of doing on this Lakeside match. We see immediately the mechanic throws down that George, right? That's what we call him. Throws down the George, transitions out, and forces this Dream Witch to not take George down, because by doing so, it will slow down the main follower. It looks like GR, let's see what we're going to do. Does that absorb? That absorbs the leech. There is no leech on this mechanic, and we should expect Patroller. We see that the Dream Witch is moving in front of them, and this forces the follower to catch up. And so that's what you're seeing from this Dream Witch. It's not uncommon for the main body to move beyond the distance of the body of the individual that they're trying to take down. And they do a good job with that Seer Owl. And because there is no leech, we have to see what mechanic is going to do. Oh, no. That's right. Patroller is still active. I'm sorry. I was completely wrong. Mechanic now down. 5 ciphers remaining. Good job from Wolves using that Dream Witch and showing why this character currently dominates the tournament circuit. You know, Wolves and GR, right now GR is probably expected to win this series. They are doing a little bit better than Wolves in regards to the official standings of this tournament. And so the question is will Wolves be able to upset them and say, hey, this series isn't over. This tournament is not done. Do not underestimate us. We have grown. We are continuing to learn, and we should not be underestimated. And now the survivors are going to do a common tactic where they have to figure out what is the better option. Do you go in for a rescue before half, or do you wait until after half to get a one-person rescue? And a one-time rescue. And by doing so, you're allowing your team to continue decoding. And what Gravekeeper was trying to do there was to try to use Tinnitus to force that hunter from relocating from one chair to the other ciphers. See, one of the things that was happening in the tournament circuit is that survivors understood, listen, if somebody goes down faster than what we want, especially with a slow decoding team, we might as well only go in for one rescue. Even if it's after half, we can try to continue decoding and to try to catch up on these ciphers to try to at least get one person out. Or in a best case scenario, when you utilize this strategy, it's because since the majority of these survivors are good kiters, they have characters that should ideally allow them to continue kiting so somebody else can go in there and finish these ciphers up in the meantime. Now we see that Patroller Seer is now going to get hit. Oh, most likely gets hit. Now Seer is not leeched. The only person that is leeched is the Gravekeeper. One person was down, and they're really trying their best to catch up with these ciphers. And now Dream Witch is going to leech that character and now switch back to the Gravekeeper's leech. And just to be certain here, Seer has been leeched, and so is Gravekeeper. The only one that has not been leeched is the forward. So the question is Gravekeeper going to try to take that leech off? Or are they going to focus on decoding and most likely focus on decoding with 3 ciphers left? That is a very good move from the survivors to make sure that they just try to count their losses. An excellent job from the Dream Witch swinging at that pallet. Always a chess match. But will that strategy work out by not rescuing and the continued decoding to catch back up? And that is the question. Now, forward is possibly in position for a stun. Is he going to be able to get it? And that is what Dream Witch is looking out for, a little worried. And now there is no leech on that Gravekeeper, but there is a leech on the Seer. Made sure that they did not try to prematurely build that up. A forward is actually nowhere near. We see that that was actually the mechanic's puppet. That was George. That was the mechanic's George that was given tinnitus. So I actually thought it was the forward as well, but it wasn't. It was George, and because that happened, they didn't pick up right away. Made sure that they leeched the Seer before picking him up because they were worried about the stun. And now let's see forward using that football. He's probably positioned himself in to go and get that rescue, gets the rescue. And now they are now at one cipher. You see that strategy happening where they're really trying to catch up on that decode. And that last cipher is actually primed. You're seeing the reason why sometimes survivors do not go in for the rescue. This is a perfect example as to why sometimes it is better not to go in for that rescue. And now it's going to get hit. Expect that cipher pop cipher. And now Seer is going to try to relocate. He is going to get leeched. Expects that leech to be over there. Let's see if he's going to be able to avoid anything. Do they still use Patroller? Yup. And it looks like this Dream Witch is going to try to secure a two-person elimination. And this is really the strategy against Dream Witch. If you get somebody down early, you just take your time. You don't go in for a rescue. You bring somebody near to activate Tinnitus. And by doing so, you allow them to catch up. Excellent gameplay from the survivors, being able to adapt in a really bad situation to at least secure the tie. Excellent game sense from those survivors. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. I am back. I took a little bit of a break. And we're going to continue with this MCing gig. And I was not paying attention to... Yeah. So anyways, we're going to watch GR playing as Dream Witch. We are currently on Lakeside, moving towards the Wolves. Who is going to be victorious? We do not know. However, GR are the former champions within the world. They have won many color tournaments. They are very good players. So let's see what this Dream Witch is going to be able to do here. We see Priestess utilizing those portals to separate that distance between them and the Dream Witch. And really, honestly, I wish in this game, okay, that survivors had to ban the hunter before you send your hunter out. I feel like it would increase character diversity. I feel like we would see a lot more specialty hunters. If you're unaware of what I'm talking about, in official tournament gameplay rules, you have to send your player out there to the stage before the survivors make a ban. And that means that for all those hunters who are really good with only one hunter, especially the specialty hunters, they're not really widely used in tournament gameplay because after the first round, you can ban their specialty hunter. And I feel like we would see many more... Oh, that was a beautiful patroller. We would probably see many more hunters if that was a thing. Good portal from the Priestess. Will it give her enough time to move over here by this pallet? And the Patroller is off of her. That bought a lot of time. Excellent move from that Priestess. And no, the video is not delayed with my reaction. It's just I am a very slow person in general. And I thought that was a phenomenal move to counter that Patroller. They are already at 3 ciphers. Let's see if this Priestess is going to continue to be able to rotate. You see that Priestess really knowing that they need to separate from the Dream Witch. This is how you counter Dream Witch, ladies and gentlemen. You gotta learn how to rotate. You have to learn how to keep moving and continue moving around the map and using the environment as you go instead of trying to tight kite all of these leeches that have these patrollers. But remember, that Priestess is leeched, right? So when we say follower, we mean the individual that accompanies her, the Dream Witch, in the beginning of the game, but being leeched means obviously this is what's following her. This Priestess is doing a real good job rotating all the way around the map. She's going to die in the corner, and this is something we talked about earlier. If you get to choose where to die, choose a corner, because then the Dream Witch is not going to have the ability to monitor all of those ciphers. The main body has to stay over here to maintain a lot of that pressure on the chair, and because the main body isn't near other ciphers, it's much harder for her to spread out in the map. This is how you counter Dream Witch on large maps. This is how you do it. If you have any choice of deciding where you die, you choose the corner of the map, and that's exactly what the Priestess did. Priestess essentially said, listen, I'm not going to keep rotating. I know she's eventually going to get me. She still has her patrollers. Even if she switches to blink, I'm shit out of luck. I'm going to hide in this corner. I already did a good job. And that is what's going to make it very difficult for GR. And so what she's going to do now is this. She's going to use patroller in order to prevent the rescue. And you can see... Oh, I actually was not paying attention. So essentially she was using the patroller to try to make sure that forward could not rescue before half. And forward recognized what was happening. Beautiful stun from the forward. And really, that was an excellent stun from the forward. Great teamwork from the Wolves, knowing exactly what they need to do to counter this Dream Witch on a big map. And GR really likes Lakeside too. So let's see what happens. They have not switched over to blink yet. And so now she's going to hit one of them. And you can expect a Cypher pop. Cypher popped all 4 survivors up. Wolves showing that they know how to counter this Dream Witch on a big map. And the question, though, is will PPX find a way to counter these survivors to at least not only eliminate one, but to try to get the tie? That is going to be very difficult on a big map like this. Great work from Wolves. That is what you need to do. If there are competitors who are watching, this is what you do against a Dream Witch. That is the main strategy. You really want to try to rotate, transition, and above all else, try to die in a corner so nobody else is affected. And it seems like that will be a one-person elimination. Here we go, Game 2, first half. We see Dream Witch, Mechanic, and Seer ban. And we see Axeboy. And here we go. We are on Moonlit River Park inside of that double story moving towards this area. Let's see what Axeboy can do. We see the persona on the lower left-hand corner. Now remember, Axeboy, a lot of people like to use Axeboy on a big map because of the mobility, especially after his adjustment. And you can also see the orbs moving around that also give you a little bit of not only map pressure, but gives you a kind of good idea of where other survivors are in the game. Hits the Mercenary with one hit, going to move on from the Mercenary, not going to waste their time, because if Mercenary wants to go in for a rescue, they're going to have to most likely get healed, because Axeboy will have the ability to stuff that. Already uses that teleport. They're still at 5 ciphers, obviously, moving around, trying to see that cipher wiggling. And the question is Axeboy going to engage with that forward in the corner there? Looks like he's not. And he's going to move towards that priestess in this area of the map. Continues using these portals. Uses that global portal because Axeboy has already used his teleport. And is going to relocate back towards over here. That is the forward that he may have to be stuck with engaging with. And let's see if forward's going to be able to hide. That's going to be a very difficult thing to do. Tries to swing. Gets the hit on forward. Forward is now a one-hit kill. Gets the orb. Forward now down immediately. Excellent gameplay from the Axeboy. Utilizing those orbs. Expecting the pallet stun. Very, very good. And the question is what is Mercenary going to do? Remember, this is Game 2, first half. And so the Hunter and the survivors, this is that first round. Well, it's technically the first half of Game 2. And the question is, will Mercenary try to get the rescue before half? It's a common strategy not to do that within the 5 ciphers. Really what you're doing is you're providing that tinnitus. You're waiting for people to continue to decode. And you're trying to catch up on decoding so you don't get stuffed upon the rescue. And it seems that's exactly what's going to happen. Mercenary not too concerned with trying to get the rescue before half. And that's a common strategy, ladies and gentlemen. Something that needs to be utilized more. If somebody goes down and there's 5 ciphers, sometimes it's better to only go in for a one-person rescue. We see forward utilizing his forward mobility, using that football, moves and rotate towards these portals from the priestess, working very well with the priestess. And the question though is he gonna really be able to get away from this character? Axeboy has a lot of mobility now, has always had a lot of mobility. But since his rework has become much more scary. Forward now down. 4 ciphers remaining, almost popping a second cipher with 3 ciphers remaining. And the question is who is the Axe Boy going to go after now that forward has been eliminated? Really what GR needs to do, and they're aware of this, they are trying to set themselves up for at least a tie. Let's see what Mercenary is going to do. He is a one hit. Oh, he did get hit by the orb. He is going to go down. He's going to rotate up towards here, most likely. And the reason why he's going to do this is because he really wants to maximize the amount of time that Axe Boy has to pick him up. And I do not expect him to vault this. Nope, he does not vault it. And he's really going to maximize the amount of time that Axe Boy requires to put him on a rocket chair. You can see that this is going to take probably about 7 to 9 seconds to get him on that rocket chair. And remember, all of that time matters. They are at 2 ciphers currently, and the question is what is MKK the perfumer going to do? Is she going to try to go in for a rescue with a mercenary that only has 1 elbow pad? Or is she going to stay around the perimeter and force this Axe Boy to stay over here because of tinnitus, which means that Axe Boy is not going to teleport over. They know that that is his trait because he used it earlier, and that's what we see what this perfumer is doing. She's hovering around the area. She's activating that tinnitus. And she's making sure that the Priestess goes untouched so Priestess can continue decoding. And the question is how much more of an additional cipher has been done? We see that Priestess is going to get this portal done, but the question is, again, is there another cipher that is almost primed, almost done? And that's the strategy here. Try to get a rescue after half, especially against a mercenary that can last a long time after these exit gates are popped. This is a good strategy. We can see that that final cipher is indeed at that 80%. Perfumer sneaking by, needs to get a rescue, cannot afford to get stuffed here. They need to get a rescue, get a pop, and if all 3 of them can separate, they did not pop the cipher yet. They are waiting for a moment, avoids it, gets it, should pop it now. Wait, there's some confusion. Priestess, a little delay with that. That may be very difficult for Priestess to get away from an Axe Boy with full presence and max persona, but she does have her portals. Cancels the portal with his orb, and now this is looking really scary for the Priestess. Is Priestess going to be able to avoid any additional orbs? Remember, this was not looking good for GR. At least they have the ability to get the tie. Look at the discipline. This is a very important moment. Is Priestess going to be able to get away? Does she get the orb? Gets the orb on Priestess to secure what seems to be a tie as of now. Still, GR cannot be too upset. They had a rough early game based on how great the Axe Boy was using their abilities. Seemed like there may have been a little bit of miscommunication with that cipher pop, because remember, when an Axe Boy uses his skill, if he hits you with his orb, you can tell by whether the hunter is highlighted or not. You can tell if the hunter is highlighted, because if that hunter has that highlighted or not, it depends on whether they used a special ability for a hit or whether they used a regular attack. Either way, we are going to the second half of game 2. Now, GR needs to at least eliminate 2 for that tie this round. And let's see how Wolves are going to be able to handle a Sculptor. We see that this rotation moves between the 10 and as well as Cypher Bridge. We can see that Sculptor is going to go against this Gravekeeper, not the Seer. That is not a Seer. Perswayable. That is a Seer, does not have a shovel. Alright, Gravekeeper putting the stuff down. Make sure he doesn't want to get stuffed before using his ability. Needs to separate a little bit of distance. Question is he going to dig? He already got hit by 1 sculpture or statue. And let's see. Gets hit again. He has a Seer Owl now. Still preserving both of those shovels. Hits him. And now what is he going to do? He needs to throw a pallet down and try to dig immediately. But no, he's not going to dig. He's going to hold those shovels because he knows that he can still kite. But let's see what he does. Gets chipped a third time. Let's see what he's going to do. He expects her not to have that. Yep, digs. Now decides to dig in this area. Really preserving that ability to maximize the amount of time that Sculptor requires on him. You can see that this Gravekeeper did not panic. He didn't panic. He didn't dig right away. He used a Seer's Owl, but gets hit by the statue, gets down. Beautiful job from PPX. However, Seer does pop one of the ciphers. They're at 4 ciphers. Priestess following suit. Soon to be at 3 ciphers. Not that bad of a kite for the Gravekeeper, putting him in decent position in this map. And they also have that global portal down for quick transportation. Has hit the Priestess 1 time, has also hit the Mercenary 2 times. Mercenary is now going to be at 50% health. And let's see who's going to go in for a rescue. That was a very important moment for PPX. Are they going to even attempt to go in for a rescue now? That is the question. Or are they going to continue decoding to get these ciphers down to set themselves up for a 3-person escape late game or even a tie? It's a very good question. You like that? You like how I ask a question and then I tell myself that it was a good question? I'm very lonely lately. Oh boy, I'm letting my inner conscience out during our MC session. It seems like nobody is going for that rescue. They are at 3 ciphers. Let's see what their strategy is at. Mercenary has been fully healed. Priestess at 25%. Seer is at 75% health. I meant to say Priestess is at 75% health as well. And we can expect this Sculptor to really focus on that Seer, since Seer has already used their Owl a little bit earlier. Is he going to be able to chip shot? Chip shots now. Seer is at 50% health, and he is in a troubled position out in the wide open. Let's see. Hits him again. He's at 25% health. Is he going to be able to dodge? He does not. Sculptor gets him down. 3 ciphers remaining. Are we going to see a similar strategy from Wolves, from what we saw from GR earlier in the game? And really, this is what Sculptor is going to do. Put them in the corner of the map to make sure nobody gets a rescue in time to set themselves up for a possible rescue. Going to spike in this area, sees exactly where that character is moving, and so Sculptor now knows where that character moved towards. And let's see what happens here. Is that 75% health? Are they going to be able to? Nope, jukes all of those statues. Beautiful job. And he is still at 75% health. I was looking at the wrong indicator earlier. I'm sorry, I'm a little rusty with the MC, but I promise I'm going to get better. And let's see, gets that rescue before half. 3 ciphers remain. Mercenary is at 75% health. Seer, 75% health. Well, 25% health. I got to get these numbers down, and I'm not going to delete this. I got to get better. I've been a little rusty. What can you say? And now Seer goes down. 2 ciphers left. Did get the rescue, I believe, before half. My dear Lord, I'm looking at the wrong indicators, looking at the wrong health. Teleports immediately, takes down the global portal. Good decision. Does not want to hit that Priestess yet. Hits the Priestess 175. Is now down with 1 cipher, but they get the cipher pop. Are they going to be able to get the rescue to dissipate, to really put the Sculptor in a very difficult spot? Let's see what happens. Is Priestess going to be able to get this rescue? She's currently spiking. And gets the rescue in time, gets the Seer back down, gets the Priestess down as well. Ladies and gentlemen, a very important moment for PPX. Excellent job from this Sculptor. Wow, Mercenary moving towards that 4th stop gate, knowing that Sculptor does not have teleport. Can see that Sculptor is picking this Priestess up, so he knows that that gate is not going to be spiked. And now there will be a 1-person escape from Wolves. Excellent job from GR. That was absolutely intense. We'll still try to spike the area. Excellent gameplay from GR. That's that exciting gameplay that I love to look at. I love that. We see Dream Witch and Axe Boy band, as well as a forward Mercenary and Seer. We have Perfumer, Priestess, Coordinator, and Gravekeeper against the Wu Chang. We were just talking about this not long ago, about Wu Chang being selected quite a bit in this tournament, especially not as much as I would think, but enough for us to notice. And the question is, will Wu Chang be able to catch any of these survivors off guard in the beginning of the match? And the answer is, we will see. We see that the Priestess has already set her portals up, or at least one. That's a common strategy for Priestess against Wu Chang's. Immediately put a portal up so you can't be caught by surprise. We see a north-south build. Let's see where this movement is going to go against a Perfumer. This may be a little difficult for the Wu Chang, depending on how this Perfumer uses this. You see that Perfumer set up at least one of the pallets. Is he going to be able to trick her? Is not working. Trying to mind game Perfumer. Perfumer saying stay in discipline. Uses a perfume just in time. Now remember, Perfumers can really feed these hunters. Can make it more difficult. Really throwing those pallets down. We see Blink. Not up now. Blink is currently up. They are still at 5 ciphers. Obviously, match just started. Perswayable does not. That's actually good for Wu Chang because he got her to use her perfume. Gets the hit though on the Perfumer, and he still has Blink. This is not looking too good for Perfumer in this area. Even if she uses this for the boost, she needs to be careful. Throws the pallet down, gets it just in time. Oh! Gets that dodge. Beautiful maneuvering from the Perfumer. Wow, that was excellent gameplay. Excellent. Good ability from Wu Chang to make sure that he could try to hit her. I can't believe that did not register. Good job from the Wu Chang. Good mind games from the Perfumer. You can see how that works like a chess match. That's exactly what that was. Lots of mind games. You can see the Wu Chang trying to juke out and trick this Perfumer to get her to do things that she doesn't want to do. But they're at 2 ciphers. And the question is will Gravekeeper try to get this save before half? And the question also is he going to change to white form, stay to black form? Nope, decides to hit him right away, forces that rescue. Gets this because Gravekeeper won't be able to do a second rescue, most likely, which is going to require him to transition out and require somebody else to come in. That works very well in Legendary Rank mode, but in this sort of tournament format, you have a lot of communication, and you already see that transition in the bottom left-hand corner, and you see Perfumer, making sure she goes to the corner of the map to really waste as much time. All of these seconds matter. Every second matters, and they're aware of it. Wolves did it. GR is doing it. And now they are setting themselves up for an additional rescue. They have a coordinator with a gun, and let's see what she's capable of doing in this area. Gets the early coordinator gun. Gotta be careful though. Wu Chang could try to go white for him, but I don't think he's gonna get there in time. And that's what he's gonna try to do. Good job from coordinator. Excellent job. She's gonna try to body block, but that doesn't work against Wu Chang in that area. That can work for a lot of other hunters, but Wu Chang is tall and slender, works in his favor, and now they're going to get one person eliminated, and this is very important for Wolves. A very important moment is, are they going to be able to get somebody else in time? We see that this Wu Chang does not have Trump's card, which is not atypical. They do not have teleport, but will most likely be able to secure a tie here. Will be very difficult for Kong, but cannot underestimate GR, former world champions. Still the current winner of this area. Make sure that he's prioritizing that roller coaster. Let's see what GR Kong decides to do. Is trying to juke him out. Oh, beautiful juke! But pushes Kong off. You can see that the pallets are down, which helps them. Throwing the pallets down in order to get that advantage. They know that that final cipher has been popped. What is Kong going to be able to do in this area? There we go. What's going to happen next? Misses that stun. Don't, goes down. The slide. Let's see what Chang does. Lots of mind games. It's a tricky spot. Tricky spot gets him down. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will most likely be a tie. We'll have to see what Gravekeeper, if Gravekeeper can get over there. And we see both of them at that exit gate. Great job from GR. Great job from Wolves as we see a tie. We see Bomb being selected. Priestess forward. Mechanic, Dreamwitch, Sculptor all being banned. Coordinator can be very, very good against Bomb depending on how it's used. And we are going to go into this, I believe, the final round. Whew. There's a lot of MCing today. I've missed you all. I want you to know that. And I appreciate all of the support and feedback when you all say that you like me MCing. I do try to do the best that I can to explain everything that's happening when it's happening. You guys know that, you know, I've been doing this for quite a long time, but I still learn every day, especially from you all. So thank you very much for being part of this journey with me. And I want to make that very clear. I appreciate you all. Christmas is coming. Today's Christmas Eve on the day that I'm actually doing this MCing, and I hope that the holidays are special for all of you. I hope that you all feel loved and appreciated because that's very important in this life. And this will be Game 3, second half. There is a lot on the mind of this PPXGR, who is really, really good as a hunter. Former top hunter of the entire world. Former KOO winner. And I can still remember his Ripper days. Man, he reformed Ripper. Especially using those peepers, man. He was a very, very deadly one. And let's see how he's going to rotate around this map with Bonbon. One of the deficits of using Bonbon on this map is that if you can rotate correctly, you can do a really destructive job against Bonbon. But it's not atypical to see Bonbon on these sorts of maps. Some high-tier hunters really prefer this map with Bonbon in this tournament. And so the question is what are they going to do? They're really trying to hide. Doesn't want to jump that gun right there. Is they going to be able to chip? Nope. Was able to make sure that they avoid it. Let's see how this coordinator does. We got to make sure that GR doesn't use too many bombs too quickly or you run into management issues. Pushes coordinator out to this area. You're most likely going to see that flare gun. Uses the flare gun, but that bomb really kind of put her behind a little bit. She's not going to make as much distance as what she probably could have, and that is because the Bonbon really did a good job at that bomb placement. And let's see what coordinator uses those flags to her advantage. She's really just trying to avoid all of those bombs. I did a video on this about Kite and Bonbon, how your priority is to avoid the bombs and absorb a regular attack if you have the ability, especially since the bombs did not hit the Sears Owl. And you see, again, coordinator making sure that she avoids those bombs. Does not want to get chipped. And that's a really, really good strategy because when you hit, he is not the fastest hunter, and you're allowed to transition out here. And the question is will Bonbon be able to get to this location? We can see a Bonbon on Moonlit using that blink. And, you know, what's so hard about Bonbon is that there's been so many different phases with him. I've seen Bonbons that don't use blink. I've seen Bonbons that only build teleport. And that was one of the learning lessons for me. I just came out with that video not long ago. And, you know, I was pretty certain that I understood a lot of the Bonbon strategy, and just every day it blows me away. And one of the things is that some Bonbons like to build northeast specifically, sometimes against coordinators and on these big maps. They don't have to invest in anti-rescue as much anymore because on these big maps it can be much more difficult for survivors to transition over, especially since, like, for instance, in this case, coordinator has really reduced time on that rocket chair. And we're seeing a lot more survivors trying to hide these days, and it works a lot more effectively than what we saw 2 years ago. 2 years ago, we saw a little bit of hiding up, but not on the same level. And really, the players have gotten much better at using this environment to their advantage. And we see that Mercenary did get chipped with that bomb. Excellent bomb. And is he going to be able to get a rescue? Interrupts it and is able to hit the Mercenary, so Mercenary is actually going to go down because he got hit. And this is why some bonbons prioritize banning a Mercenary, but especially in this round, you got to worry about other people. You got to worry about the fast decoding. You got to worry about the stuns. You got to worry about... Oh, they popped the Cypher. They popped the Cypher. 4 survivors still remaining up. And that's where it gets difficult on these maps. Because essentially what you're seeing is you're seeing many normal decoders. Right? Remember, when you get to these rounds, you really cannot afford to get kited for too long. Especially when you're going against a normal decoding route. We're not seeing that Gravekeeper. We're not seeing that sort of aspect. We're seeing fast decoders. And that is going to be a 3-person escape. Congratulations to this team for winning. Excellent gameplay from them. And let's get to the final matchup of the day. Next up, we have CPG versus GG. This ain't gonna be easy. I hope I'm not needy. I know this rhyme is cheesy. Don't know what I'm doing. I am so sorry. GG are the heavy favorites in this match, and let's get right to it, boo-boos. You know what's funny? I just got done playing some Anne gameplay, and she moves so slow, and which moves so fast that I wasn't sure if like the video was going faster than what it was supposed to. I was whizzing around the map, and I'm so used to... Yo, ladies and gentlemen, go play Anne. Go play Anne. Play her for like 3 matches, and then come back to this match, and you're going to feel like it's sped up. It's so surreal. Anyways, GGs are the heavily favorites in this. However, one thing that we know is that CPGU throughout this tournament has been getting better and better, learning many things, becoming more and more scary with this Dream Witch. And again, this is how you are supposed to kite a Dream Witch. Constantly moving around, transitioning, making her use up these followers and leeches. They're using Blink, which is really popular on Sacred Heart Hospital, given the amount of pallets and the ability to transition. And the question is, how long can ZB last? Gets the stun! Beautiful stun! And going to continue rotating. Look how long of a stun that was. Good job from ZB. But Blink is now up with that first hit. Mechanic is still leech. You see that leech chucking along, trying to follow up and move up. We see the Blink from the main body following with this mechanic, constantly going to try to get this sort of movement speed. We see that this mechanic has built up more towards the 9 sort of build. Let's see, is this leech going to get it? Nope, they already have the power down. Beautiful! Blink gets the mechanic down. They are at 4 ciphers, ladies and gentlemen, and the basement is over here. So the question is, will they be able to heal her up in time? 2 people there. They get the heal on the mechanic. Oh, wow. Gets the global portal. Absolutely phenomenal gameplay from GG, making this Dream Witch having to move across the map after they heard the Blink being used. This is absolutely incredible gameplay from the survivors, looking very, very grim at one point when they were in or near the basement. Talk about an ability to really be dynamic and flexible and be able to see the situation for what it is. And Mechanic is now back to one of the areas she was at and is now going to continue rotating. You see that they were able to heal her up completely. She is back at 50% health. This is absolutely amazing coordination from GG. He's going to probably juke back around. No, wow. There was no mind game there. Excellent job from CPGU right there. You look at this sort of gameplay and you ask yourself, what can the Hunter do? They are at 2 ciphers now. Incredible gameplay from the survivors. Let's see this movement, this rotation. Let's see where and who's coming next. We see Mercenary making their move. Avoids that hit. Are they going to be able to get the rescue before half? It looks like they are going to be able to get the rescue before half. We are at 2 ciphers. Mechanic now gets hit. Tide Turner activated. Mercenary still at 50% health. And we still have a forward at full health. A priestess. No more portals. However, we know that those things regenerate. Like the miserable people who try to flock our lives. They just keep coming and coming and coming. Now, let's see where that mechanic is going to be. You see this sort of multitasking from CPGU, making sure they leave one of the followers over there by the cipher machine. Let's see where they're going to put him. They're going to put him on this rocket chair. I do not see forward anywhere nearby. Now, here we are. We're going to get that stun. Forward's going to get that rescue in. This is now the second rescue, still at 2 ciphers. Priestess about to pop a cipher. The question is, what is the last cipher at? I can imagine that it's pretty close. We see it on the screen there. And that is a new feature or a newer feature that we are growing accustomed to. And now let's see, misses that blink. Beautiful juke from both of these survivors. Still juking, still missing. Here we go. Absorbs a hit from the forward. Still at 1 cipher. You see that they're trying to decode a new machine. One of those machines most likely up there in Sacred Heart Hospital. They are not working on that because there is a leech over there. Gets the stun. Beautiful stun from the forward. Let's see this movement. Let's see how they are able to continue double body blocking as one person is decoding. You see these stuns, you see that movement, still trying to get that mechanic down, and this is getting really difficult. Decides, beautiful stun, gets the stun. That was a very important part, and still has plenty of time to try to get this down. This forward misses that stun. It's all right. Forward's been doing a good job. Mechanic about to go down and get eliminated. You can see that that mercenary did not. Oh, wait, no. I am underestimating the forward. Forward gets the stun. Mechanic still up. 1 cipher left. Approximately 65% on that decode in progress. You can see that GG has the double bodyguard. We all deserve friends like GG survivors. These are the sort of friends that you deserve in life. Let's see how they're going to be able to get it. They get it down. Is the forward going to be able to stun? I do not believe that forward has any football left. They're going to keep moving and keep trying to heel stall there, and let's see if they're going to get it down. They take the pallet down. They're going to move this other follower over there, knowing that they can put him over here because they're working on a different cipher, and they are at 1 cipher still. They are going to pop. GG gets the pop. All 4 survivors are still alive. Excellent gameplay from GG, making sure that they have each other's back again. I wish I had friends like this. Just kidding. I have Game and Grizzly. Don't tell them I said that. Detention is activated. Now mechanic is going to go down. The question is, are these survivors going to be able to get out of this area with all 3 up? That's going to be very difficult for the Dream Witch since the main body is over here. You see the main body trying to move towards that gate, but this is looking like a 3-person escape. Excellent job. GG. No pun intended. I got excited right there. Now we see that the ban is a mechanic. Oh, it feels good to be back to MC, and I get excited. It's not my fault. Don't blame me. Blame your parents because you're all phenomenal people. Now, this puts CPG in a predicament because now that's not a word, a predicament, because now they have to get 3 survivors out. And against GG's Bon, that is going to feel almost borderline impossible, but if anyone's going to be able to try to do that, it will be CPG. We see that CPG is using the Embalmer. Very interesting choice to see how this is utilized after the update that we have seen his adjustment. He is much more scary with the ability to relocate the coffin. And now we see him putting that coffin down. Let's see what PPXE is going to be able to do with this bonbon. We do not see Tinnitus activated, and they all rotated correctly. Now, GG trying to catch up. You see Zibby over there trying to break line of sight. We see Zaf, who is the Embalmer, now moving up to a very strong area of the map, forcing this bonbon. We see Bonbon. Is Bonbon using... Bonbon's using peepers. Okay, I got you. I was like, what's going on here? Now, let's see how this Bonbon is going to be able to do. Now we are going to see some action with this. Now, the question is, now All right, so here's the thing. The reason why they are doing this, ladies and gentlemen, is because they know that this bonbon is using peepers. And because they're using peepers, it gives them enough time to heal this person up with the priestess to continue allowing some people to decode. In that left-hand corner of this screen, you can see what that decode in progress is of each cipher, one of those newer features that came out a couple weeks ago. And I really, really like it. And remember, he needs to be careful about using too many of these bombs, or they may be a bombing problem management, but back at 5 bombs already. Remember, he did get some hits on that embalmer and therefore did reach that tier 1 or whatever on that persona. And we have to see what embalmer is going to be able to do. We see that PPXia using that bonbon with peepers, and the question is what are they going to do with this embalmer, and how is embalmer going to be used? It's going to be really difficult to avoid these bombs. PPXia, one of the best bonbon players in the world, gets the hit on the embalmer. Excellent gameplay from this bonbon, making sure he doesn't panic, slows it down, realizes I have plenty of time. I am going to get this guy down. And the question is, will embalmer almost heal? Yes, he is. It seems like embalmer has decided to go and heal himself so nobody else has to move along, and that is exactly how he used it. The question is how is this going to work? Remember, they now know that bonbon does not have teleport. The problem is that he's trying to hide, but bonbon has peepers. You got to be careful with that strategy. He knows bonbon has peepers. That peeper's going to go down, and that's going to put embalmer in a very difficult situation. Let's see how this embalmer is going to do. Is he going to be able to avoid one of the best bonbon players' bombs in the entire world? Seems like he's juking quite a few of them. Still juking them. None of them hitting hits the normal attack. Beautiful job from PPXia. They are at 3 ciphers. The question is, will forward get this done? It looks like he's looking, but nope, he's not going to. He's going to have to go now. Oh, he's not going to go now. They drop. Wow, beautiful discipline. Beautiful discipline from that forward, making sure they don't go in unreasonably. Bonbon puts him down, making sure he doesn't fall victim to that customary forward stun when you directly put a survivor on the rocket chair. Whew, this is exciting gameplay. The question is are they going to rescue? It seems like they may not even go for that rescue. They may try to continue decoding. The issue is now they're going to need 3 survivors to get out in order to tie this round. That is a very difficult task. We see that 2 pallets are down. 1 pallet is very close. Priestess using that global portal. That cipher is going to be almost popped. Cipher is popped. Now they have 2 ciphers left. One is at approximately 40%, maybe 30%, and one is at 80%. This next cipher is very close. This forward needs to do a good job at harassing bonbon. He knows it's going to be difficult to get this forward down. This forward's just throwing these pallets down to buy as much time as possible. And now, remember, forward has a full football. Needs to not be too afraid of using it. Gets hit once with that bomb. Gets hit twice with that bomb. He is now at 50% health. Let's see, is he going to get this next hit? He does not. Still at 50% health. Does not use the football yet. Making sure 75% health taken away. Is that 25% health? Gets him down. And there are still 1 cipher that needs to be primed. And only one of those ciphers is over halfway. 2 ciphers did get worked at separate times. The question is, will forward be able to struggle free? This is really pretty far. Yep, is able to struggle free from the bonbon. Excellent job. And they are still almost at that last cipher being primed. That last cipher is almost complete. Let's see what they popped the cipher. 3 survivors still up. This bonbon is not using detention. Let's see how this priestess works. She knows that she can't get afforded to get hit by this area. Beautiful time bomb. Is this Priestess going to be able to portal? Tries the portal, gets the portal in time, and avoids the bombs. That was a very important point. Remember, they need 3 survivors to get out in order to tie this, and this is going to be very difficult for this Bonbon in a very strong area against one of the most difficult survivors to face in this area. Is she going to be able to make it to the basement? It looks like both of them are going to get out. It's going to be a very difficult point. Oh, and they get out! All 3 survivors, and we have a tie. Excellent gameplay from CPG. Was exciting gameplay. Extremely exciting gameplay. I feel like a virgin at a strip club. Just kidding. I hate strip clubs. That is now a ban on a forward, seer, and a sculptor. We see Gravekeeper, Mercenary, Mechanic, and Priestess. CPG. What a phenomenal job. The ability to come back from a situation like they were in, and also seeing what the survivors did. GG. Absolutely amazing. The ability to come back. It's absolutely amazing watching these top tier play. It makes me jealous a little bit. It really does. I'm not going to lie. It makes me a little jealous. Oh, boy. I've been playing Ann a lot. Every time, people need to stop banning Bonbon, just for reference, please. Shout out to all of you who don't ban Bonbon. It's the only way I can win now. And we have a Dream Witch by CPGU. We see that Dream Witch did not get banned by GG. GG, it seems like they do not fear CPG uses Dream Witch. They were able to overcome a very dire situation. And now the question is on Eversleeping Town, how is CPGU going to be able to handle them? Remember, a Priestess on this map is extremely dangerous. Extremely dangerous. And they know that too. And now let's see what this Survivor and Hunter will be able to do in this matchup, taking these pallets down. You see that circular motion there. It's going to seem like they're going to get a hit. And it does not look like they are using the patroller method. It looks like there is a blink method being utilized with this Dream Witch. Very interesting how some of these Dream Witch users are starting to use blink more than the very popular, very popular patroller method. And the question is why? And will it pay off right now? And we will find out. Dream Witch really, Priestess circle in this area, about to see a portal. Make sure that there's good discipline. Blink is now up, and that is probably why. And at basement, this is not necessarily good for GG, but we did say that last round, and somehow GG was able to pull off a miracle. Now they're going to leech that survivor to make sure that when they are rescued, if just in case they lose track of the individual being put on the rocket chair, the leech will constantly follow them. It also provides ability to really get down the rescuer, hit them once, follow them up again, not have to worry about the Priestess, because you know wherever she relocates, that leech is going to be there. And we have to remember, they do have a Gravekeeper. Will Gravekeeper be able to do and pull some miracle off in regards to a rescue? We do not know. It seems like as of now, nobody is going for that rescue. It's not atypical for individuals to go in for one rescue at the end. But right now, the question is, are they do get... Oh, let's see. I can't see. Now I can see. Gets the Terror Shock on the puppet. Does not look like anyone is going in for that rescue. Or are they? It seems like they are. Perswayable was wrong. Are they going to go in for a one-time rescue? This is a very important moment, and they really got to see if they can hold back this survivor. Hits him once, gets that attack recovery. Question is, yep, now they're going to get that. Oh, that was with the leech. All right, yep. So Priestess absorbed the leech, and now they're going to have to make sure that they don't lose track of that Priestess. Priestess still not leech. Decided to leech the Mercenary. Main body is on that Priestess. Instead of leeching Priestess again, that would have made no sense because she is going to die on the rocket chair. The question is, will Forward be able to do anything? Do not see him in the vicinity. And now Priestess should be eliminated after this point. Mercenary has a leech on them still, so that's going to follow that character across the map. They are at 4 ciphers. But as you can see in that left-hand corner, one of the cipher machines is at approximately 95%. And now what is this Dream Witch going to do? Dream Witch has another leech up in about 3, 2, 1. It is active now and is able to leech that mechanic. Is going to move and start to try to tunnel this mechanic. We see that the mercenary is constantly moving around. Mercenary is not decoding as of now, and now is trying to decode, but still has that character on. You know that she's not going to really probably hit that mercenary. She's just really going to do a lot of harassment to reduce that character's decoding down, and if there's an opportunity, she may perhaps swing. Now, let's see what Mechanic is going to do. Mechanic is at full health, was able to avoid that hit. You could see them hugging the wall. Beautiful discipline from the Mechanic. Beautiful blink, gets that Mechanic down to 50% health. You see now, however, that one of the characters did pick up a syringe, who also has a leech on them. And let's see, that's actually a really good lucky find. Still moving around, still trying to tunnel this Mechanic. Is able to, yep, beautiful discipline from the Dream Witch. And you can see, yep, beautiful blink. Mechanic is now down. Mercenary no longer has a leech on him. And Gravekeeper still doing their thing. Did I say forward earlier? Did I? Did I say will a forward be able to do anything? I don't even think there is a forward. What am I saying? What was going on here? I'm getting old. That's what's happening. Oh, I got to practice this more often. I'm looking forward to it, though. I had to catch up with the series. There were technical issues. YouTube was taking 2 days to process the video. I didn't realize when that happens, it means there's an error. All right, now, going in for the rescue. Gravekeeper gets the hit. Decides to dig. Mechanic still has a leech on them. All 3 people are injured. Only one has a leech. They need to be careful because that Mechanic does have a syringe. Let's see. Mechanic is currently using that syringe as of now, trying to heal up. Still trying to heal up. And it looks like that Gravekeeper's doing a good job. Mechanic still at half health. Most likely is going to wait. Still using the syringe. Fully healed up. That's a very important point that Mechanic had the ability to heal themselves. That was a very lucky find from the chest. That could have just changed the outcome of the entire match, to be honest. Gravekeeper circle in this area. Does have one dig left, one cipher remaining. Is not using it too soon. Buying as much time as what they can. Putting this pressure on that cipher. There is one cipher that's at approximately 65%, give or take. You can see that blink being used on the Gravekeeper. Gravekeeper that now down. Mercenary still at 50% health. Mechanic is still fully healed with a leech on them. The question is, what are they doing with this cipher? Are they going to prioritize removing the leeches or not? They're going to leech that Gravekeeper. They're still at one cipher currently. Let's see what she's going to do. Obviously put him in the rocket chair. You can see really this Dream Witch trying to spread these followers out in order to slow the game down. Oh, almost gets to hit on that Mercenary. Beautiful elbow pad from the Mercenary. And remember, they are doing a cipher, or we're doing a cipher, and seems like there's a... Oh, gets the blink hit. Mercenary will go down. Are they going to be able to... Oh, gets the hit. Mercenary now down. Almost prevented that rescue. Is going to pick the Mercenary up just in case, because they do not know what the cipher progress is. Mercenary is still being held. They need to put Mercenary in the rocket chair. Puts Mercenary in the rocket chair, and now is going to relocate this follower on the cipher they were working on. And CPGU saying, don't you ever underestimate my Dream Witch again. Excellent gameplay from you. Mercenary still on there. Remember, Mechanic has now removed their leech. Mechanic has no leech and is at full health. Gravekeeper now going in for a rescue. Mercenary still on the rocket chair. They may need to get this before half. She's not going to swing. There's no Cypher that's primed. This Dream Witch is making sure she doesn't freak out, but they did get the rescue in time. Gets the blink hit. No Cypher is primed currently, to my understanding. And this is just straight domination from CPGU. Do you see how, if you can somehow manage to die in the corner of the map, you do not allow the Dream Witch to maintain a lot of pressure in the middle of the map? You're seeing a lot of that pressure. Gets the hit on the Mechanic and is able to switch over immediately because it was a drop-down hit, which immediately allows you to recover from an attack. Just pure map control. CPG relocating one of the spawns over there to make sure that there's pressure on all of these ciphers. Is not getting tunnel vision. However, one of those ciphers is being worked on. She can hear it being worked on. This individual is going to have to hop the window. And right now, 2 people have been eliminated. 1 cipher is really close to being done. And it could be the difference between a 3-person or a 4-person elimination. Gets the swing, gets the stun. Trying to make sure that these ciphers do not get done. And is going to come over here and try to leech this survivor. And now both survivors have been leeched. One of the characters is relocating. You can see pure domination from CPGU, cutting off a lot of these routes. And really, Mercenary expending the last elbow pad that they have. Neither one has any more items. And CPGU just has to have confidence in their ability to shut these ciphers down. Beautiful, beautiful blink prediction from GGZB. Is this going to be a hit? Gets the Terror Shock. Another syringe from this character. And also, now leeches again. Gets the blink hit. Both characters are now down. And that is a good game. Excellent job from CPGU. And now, second half of round 2, I think. And we see a forward and a seer. And we also see a bonbon that has been banned. They don't want to deal with PPXE as bonbon. It is very destructive, very scary. An interesting choice not to ban that priestess, but some people are not as scared. GG PPXE using those peepers on Sacred Heart Hospital. Game 2, second half. Must get a 4-person elimination here in order to tie it. Because that's what CPG did. As of now, they are in a tie. Game 1 was a tie. So regardless of this outcome, I do believe that we will see a 3rd round. And we see that selection here. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining with me so far throughout this process. I do appreciate your patience. This has been a big learning curve, getting all of these graphics down and getting the video editing down. I want to give a shout out to my community for all of the recommendations. I had to experiment and learn many different video software programs, audio programs, had to learn how to make this audio a little bit better. And I want to say I appreciate you all because you've been patient with me throughout that entire process. And again, I hope you all are having wonderful holidays. You all deserve that love, and I want you to be acknowledged and understand that you deserve happiness in this world. And I hope that you all can celebrate these holidays however you deem fit. And remember that you deserve nothing less short of that. And we see that we're about to see this Dream Witch go against a Priestess, Mercenary, Mechanic, and Gravekeeper for this second half of Game 2. There's a lot of pressure on PPXE. Remember, PPXE has to get that 4-person elimination. And I am back waiting for this match to load up, because I messed up my video editing. And I wasn't expecting the transition to be this damn long. You know what I mean? It reminds me of when I MC sometimes with a lot of these game developers. And they put these long transitions in. All right, here we go. PPXD on Eversleeping Town using this Dream Witch. And really, this is a very popular strategy for Dream Witch mains. They really like to come to this location on Eversleeping Town. But remember, a Priestess can be very, very deadly. And let's see how she uses these portals, throws these pallets down to really put some distance between her and the Dream Witch. And it looks like they may also have Blink. And we're seeing really a big resurgence of that Blink use based on what we were speaking about a little bit earlier. And we could see really this character is transitioning very well. Still has the leech on them. Seems like Dream Witch is going to relocate to this area over here. We've got to ask, what is PPXE's strategy here? What is still going after that Priestess? Gets the hit on the Priestess. Beautiful job. Priestess going to portal over here. Now following suit with one of the main followers. Priestess no longer has a leech on her. Beautiful blink. Gets the blink on Priestess. That was absolutely amazing, ladies and gentlemen. I really enjoy when I see a Dream Witch come out, show their domination, and remind people I am still top dog. I am still the hunter that you need to fear. And we're seeing the reason why Blink is being utilized more on this map as of late. And we can see exactly why it was that big of a deal to do so, because Priestess is now down with 5 ciphers remaining. One cipher is at approximately 90%. Gets the stun. Let's see how this rescue is going to play out. CPG Ming. Will they have enough time to get the rescue before half? Gets the rescue before half. Uses a portal immediately. Relocates around here. Priestess still has a leech on them. Mercenary is going to be at half health. You can see how this Priestess can relocate using those portals. And it is so important. This is why it is so important for these survivors to be leeched on a map like this. She's not freaking out because Priestess ultimately does have this leech on her. Does not get that blink, unfortunately. That is huge. Very big for CPG that blink did not go through. However, the leech is still nearby. That's something to be reminded of. And remember, Mercenary is also being or has been leeched. Gravekeeper immediately uses that dig so he doesn't have to deal with getting an injury too early. And now Gravekeeper has been leeched. There are 3 survivors with 3 leeches. 4 ciphers still remaining. 1 cipher at 99%, however. So they are pretty much almost at 3 ciphers. Priestess has been knocked down with the leech. Main follower near Priestess. Priestess is going to get cheered. They are now at that 3 ciphers. However, all the other ciphers have been touched or worked on. One is at approximately 80%. 55 to 57%, and the last one probably around 30%. Looking pretty good for both teams here. So this next gameplay, these next moments are going to be very, very important as to what they're able to do. They were able to remove the leech off of the mercenary. Mercenary is at half health. Remember, you remove these leeches, which is a good strategy. You're still not decoding. So the game is slowed down in favor of the Dream Witch. And really, the question is, are they going to get the rescue in time? It seems like they are going to get the rescue in time. We see Priestess using that portal, trying to get some distance on them. Remember, Priestess still has a leech on them, and that is why Dream Witch is going to move the main body. This does have Blink, decides not to use Blink against this Priestess. She's going to rotate around this infrastructure, making sure that the main body could possibly lose distance, but it's not going to happen. Leech is now going to catch up with this Priestess. Going to move around. You see Priestess really circling around that area. A lot of these ciphers now are really close to being decoded. 3 ciphers remain. Each cipher now at approximately 95 to 90 to 80%. This is looking pretty good for the survivors. They are doing a really good job. This is why I was saying a couple of days ago, you're starting to see hunters banning Priestess more than ever now. Priestess now down, and they got to be careful. Okay, so she is going to be able to get that Priestess before the cipher pop. However, the thing is that the second cipher is about to be popped and the third cipher has been primed. Good job from this Priestess, making sure she went to Tombstone to get that main body away a little bit. And they will probably be able to pop one of these ciphers here. They are, yep, they got the cipher pop. 3 survivors still remaining. That's really big. It is not easy going against PPXE Dream Witch, and they are doing a really good job at it. And now they're going to relocate. Sans knows that this character is coming. Does not have any shovel left. Attention has been activated, and he is going to try to... Oh, gets the blink hit on him immediately, and it looks like this... Oh, no! I am talking way too soon! Mercenary has been hit. This is going to be interesting. Will Mercenary... No, but that may have been Mercenary's leech. He absorbs that leech hit. No other character has been leeched. These characters are probably going to get out and still secure that tie, and that is a GG with GG and CPG. Next round, Sculptor, Dream Witch have been banned. Seer, Forward, Mercenary have been banned. We see that CPG has 1 win and 1 draw. GG has not won anything today against CPG. And again, in my humble opinion, that Boo Boos is considered so far to be an upset. GG is up there in the rankings as the top 2 clan. CPG is not, although CPG is obviously very formidable, as of all of these clans are. And this is just showing you why this sort of competitive gameplay can be riveting to watch. And the question is, what will happen in the 3rd round against this Bloody Queen? How will Explorer do hiding from this Bloody Queen? And I wrote and did a video 2 to 3 months ago when that Bloody Queen nerf happened, when the mirror no longer exposed Explorer, and I suggested we would probably see Explorer in tournament gameplay at some point, or would at least be A tier, and we have... Actually, I did not predict the tournament stuff, but I did predict A tier. Not gonna lie, I'm gonna semi-pat myself on the back for that prediction, but in all fairness, in Season 1, I remember saying I didn't think Forward was good, so there's that to start the match with. Now, immediately transitioning away, and let's see how this Blood Queen is going to use her mirror, is going to move to that side. Priestess immediately using that portal, good portal, making sure she uses it. And let's see, uses it again. Oh, does not get hit. Beautiful job. Is she that was really good from the Priestess, using those portals correctly to make sure that she did not get hit by one of those images. And the question is, will she get hit? Yes, yes, throwing that pallet down. Good prediction from you by making sure he swings. She does not have a portal currently up, and so she's going to have to move around. It's going to be very difficult in this spot, and gets the Priestess down. 5 ciphers remaining. You know what I don't understand is why sometimes the cipher progress is shown on the screen and why sometimes it's not. Oh, there we go. Oh my God, it's like they could hear me, except they can't because this isn't live. But it's almost like they knew that Perswayable would be saying something by now. They did that for me. I did it. Expert prediction, character analysis. All right, so now we're going in for rescue. Gets the hit on the Gravekeeper. Now, are they gonna be able to prevent this rescue? Let's see what happens. Does not prevent it before half. Good job from the Mechanic. Mechanic, however, is going to go down and absorb that hit. They are at 5 ciphers. Priestess does have 1 portal available. And she is already at that max persona, which makes it very difficult. This is looking very, very good for CPGU. Very good. Now is going to move the character over here. Priestess will be put in the rocket chair. Gravekeeper, remember, Gravekeeper did get injured but got healed. Remember, Mechanic did get in that rescue before halfway. Now is going to dig, pops them out of dig, only has 1 shovel left, but has to use it within 20 seconds. Uses that mirror, hits him once. Is she going to have enough time to get over there? Probably not. But that now means that Priestess will be chaired and eliminated if she goes down again. Interesting strategy to do these body blocking sort of things. Let's see what's going to happen. I say interesting because they're really going all out on trying to body block for this. Priestess gets the blink hit, and now Priestess is going to go down and get eliminated. And now let's see if this Bloody Queen is going to be able to hit this character as well. Gets the Mechanic down. 2 characters are down. 2 ciphers left. And although there are 2 ciphers left, there's only been 1 cipher touched. This is looking extremely good for this Bloody Queen. Very, very dangerous start of the match for GG. CPG really showing that they are tired of being underestimated, that they are scary. They're here to compete. They're here to win. And now, 1 person eliminated. Mechanic on the chair for the first time. Explorer, remember, can be a big game changer with those pads. Using their mirror appropriately to see if they can hit somebody over there. And let's see what happens. Explorer is going to be forced to go in for the rescue. And remember that this mirror is really preventing some of that decoding. There's that map pressure that we talked about. Gets the hit on the Explorer, making sure they get the attack recovery if they built for it. ZB is now trying to run away as much as what they can. Let's see what this Bloody Queen is capable of doing. Uses the mirror and is able, does not get the hit. Let's see what this Explorer is doing. Explorer is now running away. That was a good move from the Explorer. That right there, ladies and gentlemen, could have made a big difference to this match. Now going to go after the Mechanic again. It's going to be difficult to kite a Bloody Queen at this point in time. Did get healed. That Gravekeeper did get healed, most likely, I think, from the Mechanic doll. I could be wrong, but that's what I assume. And now Gravekeeper is going to be able to go in for the rescue. And this Bloody Queen understands that they must put pressure on that cipher as well. That Explorer must go down. Gets the hit on the... And now here we go. We're going to probably get an instant cipher pop. Nope, maybe not. Trying to use that mirror. Gets that hit down. Mechanic down. Cipher pop. And Mechanic is still down. Very, very interesting what that build was. Unless that happened after the pop. It happened so fast. I don't know. However, Mechanic is going to be eliminated. Gravekeeper is going to try to circle over here towards the cellar. And the question is, can he last long enough in order to get out? Explorer really needs to get that decoding down. You can see he's at 75%. Gets the hit. And that is going to be a 3-person elimination. Excellent job from CPG. But excellent job from GG as well. Really doing the best that they can in those circumstances with somebody going down with 5 ciphers still remaining. We see that Bonbon has been banned. Dream Witch, banned. Priestess, Mechanic, and Explorer all have been banned. And who are we going to see? PPXia is probably going to use this Sculptor, as we can see. And we can see a Cowboy being used. There was some excellent Cowboy footage earlier in this gameplay. I believe in the... What was that? I can't even remember anymore. I did part of that yesterday. I started MC and I'm like, I'm going to go to bed instead. I need my beauty sleep. If I don't sleep correctly, my beard, it just, you know what I mean? My beard, it needs the beauty sleep. Anyways, I believe this is going to be the last match, ladies and gentlemen. And I want to thank you all for being with me so far. At least I think. I honestly don't know. But most likely it will. We need to see GG really do a good job here. They cannot afford to lose this match because CPG already has a win, already has a draw. And so GG PPXE really needs to try to go for that elimination. And even so, they need to do a really high-intensity elimination in terms of the points if they're able to catch up. And here we are going to rotate towards what we call wedding, which is a very popular strategy to do. That character over there is the forward. So is Sculptor going to continue engaging with the forward? You see the forward break in line of sight. That is what we refer to as break in line of sight, so she does not see him, and he knows it. And the question is she going to continue tunnel on him? And that's going to really be a big game changer. And let's see, using that football correctly, does not get a hit on any of these statues, has one statue of vertical and horizontal, and needs to make sure that they can go up. Remember, if you use a lot of those statues prematurely, you run into management issues. Beautiful Seer Owl, because Seer is usually not banned by sculptors because their statues can counter it. And now let's see where she's going to go. She does have teleport. She decides to spike down. It seems like this sculpt. Let's see where she goes now. Gets a hit on the Seer. Seer is now at that 75% health. Let's see if PPXE can get another statue. You can see him running the open. Decides not even to bother. Gets the regular hit. Now Seer trying to transition. And now PPXE trying to use their statues. Trying to get one more hit. Decides to spike. This is very important. If you don't get this, that was very, very important. And now they are still at 5 ciphers. 1 cipher close to being done. PPXE making sure the forward's not coming. Needs to be careful about an instant stun, which is the popular strategy from forwards. And let's see what they can do. Trying to hide. However, there are blood trail marks. Forward still over there at full health. Needs to make a choice on how to use this football. Beautiful jukes from the forward. Forward absorbs a regular hit. Will he be able to get the rescue in time? Gets the rescue in time. Make sure he does not get hit again. Misses the stun, however. Seer does get hit. And now if you're asking why this forward is not using Tide Turner, the reason being so is that a lot of forwards right now are experimenting with the method where they don't build Tide Turner and they put all of their investment in that one stun. And get a big stun on that Sculptor. And by doing so, you can allow your teammates to get away. And even if they get killed, it's most likely 15 to 20 seconds later when Tide Turner would have ran out anyways. So that's exactly what you're seeing. A lot of tournament players with these tournament teams have excellent communication. And so they are banking on that communication and consistency as a team instead of investing in Tide Turner. And now, one person eliminated out of 2 ciphers left. 1 cipher is very, very close. Hits to the Cowboy. Cowboy is now at 25% health. 2 ciphers remain. We're going to see this sort of transitioning from the Cowboy. But that can be very difficult to do against a Sculptor. And that's a little bit easier to manage, that transitional kiting against a Bonbon. Bonbon takes time for those bombs to accumulate. Those statues can go right away after one of those lassos. Excellent job from the Sculptor. Does get that hit on that character. Is at 25%. The forward, I believe. His body blocking with the hit. Mercenary going in. Gets the stuff. That's extremely big for PPXE. Excellent job with that hit and making sure stuffing them. Remember, GG PPXE really needs to try to go for that 4-character elimination. And that's even going to be if the points add up in the end. So let's see where PPXE is going to go next. This is a very important part. Spikes. We now see the Seer. Now remember, when you use this ability, it automatically goes in the direction of where the survivors are. Gets the stun with the doll. That was a beautiful hit. But now it's going to ping. Going to use the spike. Let's see what they do. Gets the hit. Is at 50% health. There's still a lot of time left, though. He needs to last a very, or she needs to last a very long time. Is at 50% health. And now absorbs a regular hit. And that is a 4-person elimination. However, despite the 4-person elimination, CPG are going to be the winners based on the point system. That was excellent gameplay because it's a win in 2 ties. Great gameplay from all of the competitors. I would like to thank all of you boo-boos for joining with me today. It's been a while since I've been able to MC, but I'm getting all this technical stuff down. I know those people aren't me. We need a bearded fella in between them. Don't you agree? That's what they're missing. They are missing a handsome Italian Swedish man that could be sitting in between them, giving you guys a little smile. I'm just kidding. I'm absurd. I want you all to know something, ladies and gentlemen. We talked about this a little bit before. I hope that you guys are having a good, happy holidays. Merry Christmas to everybody. I hope that you can enjoy this time with your family. If you have the ability to do so, please be safe. And I hope that you all understand that the reason why I'm not going to ask any of you for a present is because you are already my present, boo-boos. You all have a beautiful day. Thank you so much for joining with me. Until next time, my name is Perswayable. Bye-bye, boo-boos.